live. Thank you guys for joining me here. It's always nice to have some people in the stream while I'm doing it. Because otherwise, y'all could just watch the replay that I did yesterday and the day before. Uh, and those will stay up, the previous streams, if you want to watch something while you're doing it for the first time. But this is your opportunity to ask questions while we go through it. I'm going to give it just a few more moments for people to join. While we're waiting, there is... I will be sending an email out here probably right after the stream goes off, like after I'm done with the stream. Danny just sent me an email for me to send out to everybody. I'll just go over it real quick in stream. Y'all don't email my wife. Alright, so let's zoom in here a little bit. That's better. Alright, so Danny says, students, hope all is well. Thank you for working with us during these strange times. I would like to explain how we will perform testing during online training. If your instructor schedules a test on your class day, you will need to come to the school from 1 p.m. till 2 p.m. and pick them up the same day as class. The test will be in an envelope with your name on it. You may have more than one test to take. If so, each test will be in a separate envelope and placed in one large envelope. On your next class, you will return the test using the same envelopes. Place the completed test in the outdoor mail slot. You will be required to return them at the same required time, between 1 and 2. You will pick up a new test if required. Students living over 50 miles may make special arrangements with the office to have them mailed. If so, contact the office to confirm mailing address. Please channel all questions you may have through your instructor. Thanks. God bless and stay safe. And this is from Danny. He sent it to us. I will forward this to you guys. I will be spamming this in every one of the communication means I have for you guys. Mainly email and remind will be the main two. I will be putting this in the Discord server also as a sticky message. For those of you who have not joined the Discord, it is, I'll pull this up. It is a place I post the live stream. You obviously haven't had an issue getting to the live stream because you are currently here. But this is the Discord server. I post the live stream links in here, and I do it every day. You can ask questions, make requests, and I will be putting that in the live stream. I will put a link in this invite. Edit invite link. Expire never. Next number of uses. No limit. Generate a link. Copy. I will be posting that in the YouTube chat for you guys to... If you haven't joined, you can join. And Discord has... Everything we're using has a phone app. So If you are having issues with your computer, use your phone. All right. And again, I'll be sending this to your email for you to look at for you to have this in your email, um, email, Discord, Remind. Yeah. I'll probably also post this in the IBW Facebook group just to really drive the point home that, like, y'all are going to hate hearing from me after I'm done sending this. You'll be like, I get it. All right. So, this is a long one. Let's get started. The cable assembly articles are each divided into how many parts? So, cable assembly articles. This is a scope of article, not it's a style of article, not like you can't look up cable assemblies in your code book. Cable assemblies are things like Romex, MC cable, AC cable, type NM cable, like all the different types of cable. It's towards the beginning of the chapter 3. It's not at the beginning, but it's towards the beginning. I think the first one, and I have my code book over here. I'm going to flip to the table of contents, chapter 3. The very first one is Article 320, and the very last one is 340. So between 320 and 340 are all of your cable articles, or cable assembly articles. They are all laid out exactly the same way. So if you look, they all have 3 parts. And that's table of contents level stuff. The 3 parts are general, installation, and construction specifications. Part 3 is construction specifications. Type FCC cable is defined in what section of the NEC? Ooh. Okay. I was going to say, I should rephrase that, but no, it's 324.2. So if you look, I mean, this is another one of those easy questions where they give you 4 spots in the code book, and you just look in those spots. Is the answer there? If yes, then that's your answer. 324.2 is flat conductor cable. A flat conductor cable is this really thin ribbon cable that is designed to go under carpet. Whenever they glue down like carpet squares, you can run that to get power to somewhere outside of your normal means without having to like chip up concrete and stuff. The bending radius of type AC, IGS, MI, and type TC cable. So, all of these different cable types, the articles are laid out the same. I know I've said that. The bending radius is addressed in which part of their respective articles? Part 2, installation. Because when are you going to try to bend the conduit or the cable? When you're installing it. That's why it's in the installation section. Type FCC cables shall be covered with carpet squares. Again, this is installation of type FCC cables. So you're going to go to 324, look in part 2, installation, and it's going to be right there. I haven't put an explanation on this question, but it's a very easy one to find. Type AC cable must have an armor, armor of flexible metal tape and an internal bonding strip of copper or aluminum in intimate contact with the armor for its entire length. So this is going to be construction specifications of type AC cable. So that's a pretty straightforward one also. Uses permitted and uses not permitted for type NM cable. Again, these are all laid out the same. So, but let's go to the type NM cable section, which is 334. It even tells you in the question. These articles are super small, like they're 2 pages at best. And uses permitted, uses not permitted is 10 and .10 and .12. All right, sorry. The allowable ampacity of type NM cable cannot exceed that of a blank rated conductor. I don't know exactly where this is going to be inside of the type NM cable article. I want to say that's going to be installation, but it might be under general. So 60C is that one. Alright, the radius of the curve of the inner edge of a 90-degree bend in non-metallic sheath cable shall not be less than blank times the cable diameter. Again, this is installation, and it's right. It's going to be installation of type NM cable. So we've been in the same article for several questions. You should be there, and it's 5. Really easy thing if you tried to look it up. Where the cable type wiring method is installed through bored holes in joists and rafters, holes are generally required to... Okay, so we're getting into a question that is not about a cable type. So this, you're going to look this up in your index. Look up cables, and then through joist and rafters. It's actually through studs, joists, and rafters. So it's cables, and then through studs, joists, and rafters. I want to say this is... No, that's not it. It's going to be in Article 300. 300.4a is that one. I only flipped right to it because I have been doing this all week. If you want to look this up, again, your keywords in this question is it's a cable that we're putting through a hole in a joist or rafters. So you're going to go to cables in your index and look through the options until you get to... This is such a disgusting code book. Okay. Cables. All right, and then it's cables, and then through studs, joists, and rafters is the literal words. So 1.25 inches. It has to be at least 1.25 inches from the nearest edge. Part 1 of Article 300 provides general requirement. Part 2 covers the requirements for over 1000 volts nominal. So just look at the titles of these parts in the table of contents even. Or if you're already in Article 300, you can just look and find Part 2 in it. I would use the table of contents personally if you're looking for a recommendation from me. Article 300 applies to conductors that form an integral part of equipment. And this is going to be looking in the scope of the article. So what does this article apply to? The very first part of every article is going to be the scope, or at least somewhere right at the very beginning of every article is the scope of that article. And look through that scope, see if it says that it does or does not apply to conductors that form an integral part of equipment. It says 300.1b, which is like the second paragraph, says it is false, or says that it does not apply to conductors that form an integral part of the equipment. Alright. When a hole is bored in a wood joist for the installation of type NM cable, the nearest edge of the hole shall generally not be closer. I think we've already answered this one. Yeah. Same spot as the last time we answered this one. You're going to use the same keywords. Type NM cable. It's just you're looking for a cable. There's no special requirement for type NM cable. All the cables have to be, the hole has to be no closer than 1.25 inches from the edge of the joist. The cover for a direct burial conduit is the shortest distance. Sorry. There's noise happening behind me. The cover for a direct burial conduit is the shortest distance between a point on the blank of the conduit and the finished grade. So this is the cover depth for the conduit. So if you're direct burying a conduit, how deep do you need to bury it? That is 300.5 is the give me 1 second. My super convenient robot vacuum is vacuuming under my feet and it's distracting me. Alright. So cover depth. You can look this up in your index. It is also a tab. If you bought tabs for your code book, that's going to be covered in the tab. Like they have a tab for it because it comes up a lot. At 120 volts, GFCI protected 20 amp residential branch circuits is installed underground and type UF cable. The cable passes under an alleyway. So we will be going to this 300.5 table. And let me pull that up for you guys. Open image in new tab. Here we go. Let's zoom out just a touch. Okay, so here is your table that you're going to be using. It is 300.5. we are looking at the question kind of spells it out a little bit on the nose. A residential circuit rated 120 volts with GFCI protection and a maximum overcurrent of 20 amps. So we know we're in column 4 because that's word for word the question. Then we're going to come down and we're going to look at this side real quick. And then right here, it says under streets, highways, roads, alleys, driveways, and parking lots. So, column 4, and then I almost pointed at my screen. Y'all can't see that. Column 4, and then this row gives you 24 inches. What first level subdivision addresses protection from damage for conductors emerging from the ground operating? So if it's over 1,000 volts, we won't be in that 300.5. We're going to look for direct burial or conductors emerging from the... We're going to be direct burial or let's look what 300.50 is real quick. So I'm not... Underground installations. Okay, 300.5 is the below 1,000 volts. 300.50 is above 1,000 volts. And then C is protection from damage. So if you look this up, you would be looking for underground conductors protection from damage is what I would start looking up in the index. Circuits over 1,000 volts, direct burial. So we're going to be in 300.50. And they have to be watertight. And again, that is right next to the previous question, splices. So it is 300.50D. I'll leave that for a second. All right. Moving right along. Last question. Openings around electrical penetrations into or through fire-resistant rated walls, partitions, floors, or ceilings shall be blank using approved methods to maintain their fire resistance rating. So this one is fire stopped. It is in the code book. It was a little bit tricky to find for me. We went through and it's actually preventing the spread of fire. This is, I want to say it's 300.20. 300.21. Spread of fire or products of combustion is what this is covering. And I would look up fire stopping, fire spread. This is more one of those you're going to have to know a lot more about the question. Not that you'll need more information, but it's one of those that you'll have had to been asked that question and kind of know, okay, I think I know about where that is before you start looking it up. Because this is about preventing the spread of a fire. There's a lot of other spots in the code book that cover fire stopping. But yes. Alright, so that is all of this lesson. I'm going to go ahead and put up the next lesson. And whenever that pops up. And lesson 4. Alright, so it is lunchtime. Or, right about lunchtime. I will be back at 1:45 with a new live stream. I'll post it on the Discord that I just linked in this chat. Yeah, have a good lunch. This is lesson 4. I'll see you guys in a couple hours.